I am not an aficionado of film history, nor do I spend a whole lot of time seeking out old movies. But every now and then, something from the old days does catch my eye, and now and again when that happens, I find one that burrows into my brain. In the past several months, I've seen 5 films released before 1960 that really did capture my imagination, and I'm excited to tell you about them. I have only 2 qualifications for a movie to land on this list of my favorite pre-1960 films. I must have watched it since I started my Letterboxd diary in December 2024, and I must have given it a rating of 4 stars or better. This is not a ranked list. I will talk about these 5 movies in order of their release date, the earliest first. Warning, there may be spoilers ahead. A Star is Born, 1937, directed by William A. Wellman. This was the first of 4 movies to carry this title. The 3 subsequent films appeared in 1954, 1976, and 2018. But this was not the first time that the story was put to film. Wellman's A Star is Born was based on a 1932 George Cukor movie titled What Price Hollywood? The basic plot throughout all 5 of these movies is the same, only some of the details have been tweaked. In Wellman's film, Frederick March plays Norman Maine, an A-list movie star whose alcoholism is becoming a real problem for his management team. Janet Gaynor is Esther Blodgett, an ingenue trying desperately to be discovered in Hollywood. Norman meets Esther, sobers up, and helps her become superstar Vicki Lester. But Norman realizes one day that he's a nobody existing in his wife's enormous shadow and starts drinking again. When he realizes he is only bringing harm to Esther's life and career, he permanently takes himself out of the equation. I went into this film for the first time knowing all the beats of the story. Still, I was completely enthralled. This was a heartstring tugger of serious magnitude. Surprised the hell out of me. I would have never believed that I would love an ancient prehistoric 1937 movie this much. Double Indemnity, 1944, directed by Billy Wilder. As I understand it, this was not the movie that invented film noir, but it certainly was the one that defined its tropes for decades to come. Fred McMurray is a salesman making a house call to femme fatale Barbara Stanwyck. She reels him into a plot to kill her husband for a big insurance payout. Edward G. Robinson is the investigator who smells the fish and sets the trap. The story is tight and the performances are fantastic. Everyone hits all the right notes. It's fascinating to take a ride in the Wayback Machine to understand that this is the first time audiences saw something like this. And this movie is so intriguing that you do get why Double Indemnity became a template used by movie makers for decades. This title reappeared in 1973 as a TV movie starring Richard Crenna, Samantha Eggar, and Lee J. Cobb. It was essentially a note-by-note remake trimmed down to fit into a time slot. It was fine as far as those things go. Sunset Boulevard, 1950, directed by Billy Wilder. Gloria Swanson as Norma Desmond is one of the iconic performances in movie history. I've known that for decades since I saw Carol Burnett's classic parody on TV a half-century ago. But seeing is believing, right? And I became a true believer when I did finally lay eyes on this movie a few months back. My God, this truly is a mind bleep. Especially that final scene when Gloria as Norman really truly goes completely off the rails. William Holden plays screenwriter Joe Gillis, who's dead as the movie opens. Our task as a viewer is to go back a few months and learn how Joe ended up that way. Turns out he hooked up with Norma, a crazy old silent film star who hired Joe to write a script for her fabulous comeback. As you can guess, things don't go very well. The plot of this movie matters very little. Sunset Boulevard is all about Gloria Swanson's insane performance. And yes, this was a fabulous comeback by an aging silent movie star of the 1920s. You must see it to believe it. Once you do, you'll never forget it. A Star is Born, 1954, directed by George Cukor. So George Cukor, the director of 1932's What Price Hollywood, calls William A. Wellman, director of 1937's A Star is Born, and says, "Hold my beer." Nah, that didn't happen. I made that up. What did happen was that Cukor rejected Warner Brothers' offer to do the 1937 film because he did not want to make the same movie twice. This time around, when the studio called again, Cukor jumped at the opportunity to help a rehabbing Judy Garland get her career back on track. Remember the plot outline for Wellman's film? Put James Mason in the Norman Maine role. Drop in Judy Garland as Esther and make her a young nightclub singer persuaded by Norman to become an actress. Toss in about a half dozen big production numbers and you've got yourself one of the great movie musicals of all time. Yep, this one floored me, even more than the 1937 movie did. This particular version of A Star is Born has an eventful history. It had a huge red carpet Hollywood premiere as a 3-hour epic. Warner Brothers then sliced about a half hour out of it to appease theater owners, causing Cukor to disown the thing. After Warner Brothers hit again with the 1976 remake, the studio financed a restoration of the 1954 premiere cut for a series of special screenings in 1983. That restoration is the version widely available today. Cukor, by the way, died the night before he was to attend a screening of the restored version in New York. Please, everyone, don't be George Cukor. Don't die before you get a chance to see this. Witness for the Prosecution, 1957, directed by Billy Wilder. This is the third Billy Wilder film on this list of 5 great pre-1960s movies. He had a few more classics that I do plan to explore. Witness for the Prosecution is a courtroom drama set in London and based on an Agatha Christie story. No frickin' way would I ever have any interest in something like this. But I was browsing Prime Video one night looking for something to watch, recognized the title as a highly regarded classic, saw that it was a Billy Wilder film, and so I clicked on it. Oh my, I'm so happy I took that plunge. This thing is wild beyond belief. All I really want to say about this movie is that Charles Laughton is hilarious as the curmudgeonly barrister Sir Wilfrid Robarts. And that final scene with Tyrone Power as the accused killer and Marlene Dietrich as the accused killer's wife revealing all their secrets is freaking nuts. Thanks everybody for taking this journey with me. I'll be back soon to move into the 1960s.